So in today's class, we will be covering two topics. So first will be sets operations, okay, and next will be dictionary. So previously we have covered functions that are related to set. Okay, so previously we have covered functions that are related to set. So some of the functions are remaining. So now we will be covered those functions. So first function that is related to sets is each disjoint. Okay, so if disjoint does what? It returns whether two sets have a interaction or not. So I have already explained you what is disjoint. If two sets have no any common element, then they will be called as disjoint. Okay, and if they have some common elements, then they will be called as joint. So if you want to check if two sets are in if two sets disjoint, then you can check by using each disjoint method. So okay, so we are going to have example of set functions. If you want to check if two sets are disjoint, then suppose that we have two sets. The first set have the element set 1, 1, 2, 3, and set 2 have elements 2, 3, 4. And suppose that set 3 has elements 4, 5, 6. Okay. Now you can see that set 1 and set 3 don't have any common elements. Okay. So if you write here print set 1 dot is disjoint what? Set 2. So each disjoint will return you true if they are disjoint, means though no element has common. Otherwise, it will return you false. So now it is returning you true. So why? Because both set 1 and set 3 don't have any common elements. Okay, so it is returning you true. Now if you write here print set 1 dot if disjoint set 2, then now what will happen? It will return you false because they are not disjoint. Set 1 and set 2 has common elements. So they are not disjoint. So that's why it is returning you false. Okay. Next is each subset. What is the meaning of subset? Returns whether another set contains this set or not. Okay. Next is superset returns whether this set contains another set or not. So what is the difference between subset or superset? So suppose that we are going to check print set 1 dot each subset of set 2. It is returning you false. So set 1 is not subset of set 2. So subset meaning what? Subset meaning what? Means this set has this set 2 elements should be there. Means the all the elements of set 1 should be in the set 2. Okay. So suppose that if we want to suppose that if we have one more set 4 equal to 1, 2, 3, and then 4. Okay. Now if you write here set 1 is subset of set 4, then it will return you true. Why? Because every element of set 1 is present in the set 4. Similarly, if we write print set 4 dot each subset of set 1. Set 4 is the subset of set 1. Now it is returning you false. Why? Because every element of set 4 is not present in set 1. Okay. Next is remove method. Okay, removes does what? It removes the specified element. Okay, so suppose that if you want to remove some elements from the set, then you can remove by using the remove function. So suppose that from the set 1 we want to remove 1, then we can simply write here set 1 dot remove, and then suppose that we are removing 3 here. And if you write here print and then set 1, I can see that set 1 will be, previously set 1 was 1, 2, 3. Now it will be 1, 2 only. Okay, so 1 and 2 has been deleted from the set 1. 3 has been deleted from the set 1. So that's why it is printing you 1, 2. Next function is symmetric difference. So what symmetric difference basically does, it returns a set with the symmetric difference of two sets. So previously I have given you the example. What is symmetric difference? You can just means suppose that if we have two sets, these two sets. Okay, so symmetric difference was what? Symmetric difference what was, if you write symmetric difference between A and B, then it will return you all the elements of A and B, but means the element that are present either A and B but not in both. Okay, so this it will return you the set of all values which are in one of the set but not both. So one way of writing symmetric difference was what? This operator. So you can perform symmetric difference by this operator, or you can use directly the function symmetric difference. So you can use the symmetric difference function also. So if you write here, suppose that I'm copying this. Suppose that we have this set 1 and set 2. Okay, and we want to perform the symmetric difference. So there are two ways. Either you can write here print set 1 and then symmetric difference set 2, or you can write print set 1 dot symmetric difference between set 2. So there are two ways. Either you can use symbol or you can use the method. Now if you run, they both will give you 1, 4. You can see that the output should be 1, 4. Why? Because 2 and 3 are common, so these two are not printing, but 1 and 4 are printing. Okay. Now similarly, again one method is symmetric difference update. So what is the difference between two? So previously it will return you the symmetric difference between set 1 and set 2, but it will not change the value of either set 1 or set 2. But symmetric difference update will change the value of the first set. Okay, means it will update the value of set 1 by the result of symmetric difference between set 1 and set 2. What is the meaning of this? Insert the symmetric difference from the set and the okay set means if you see the example, so suppose that if we have set 1 and set 2, and if you write set 1 dot symmetric difference update and then set 2. Now what will happen in this case? So previously if you print the value of set 1 and set 2, so they will not change. Okay, but after performing symmetric difference update, now if you print the value of set 1 and set 2, now you can see what happened in this case. Previously it is printing you set 1 is 1 2 3 and 2 3 4. Okay, set 1 and set 2. After performing the symmetric difference, the value of the set 1 and set 2 is same. That was previously. But after writing set 1 dot symmetric difference update, value of set 1 is now 1 4 and value of set 2 is 2 3 4. Means if you write set 1 dot symmetric difference update, then set 1 value will be updated by the symmetric difference between set 1 and set 2, means whatever the result of the symmetric difference will be, this will be assigned to set 1. Okay, is this clear everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now we have union. So union is again a function that is the replacement of union. So we were previously doing union by union operator. You can also use union function to perform the union. Next is update. Update the set with the union of this set and other. This is not basically update. So I'm just giving you example how this is working. So suppose that we have set 1 is equal to this. We are taking the example again. So suppose that and the we have set 1 and set 2 1 2 3, and if you want to get the union, then you can just write here union result is equal to set 1 and then union set 2. Okay, if you print union result, then it will give you the union between set 1 and set 2. What is the union between set 1 and set 2? Means it will take all the values that are present in either set 1 or set 2. Now you can see that it is printing you 1 2 3 4. So the same thing you can also perform by writing union result is equal to set 1 dot union set 2. Okay, so now if you print the union result, you will get now in this case 1 2 3 4. So both, either you can use this operator or you can use the union function. Next is set 1 dot. Okay, so I'm not giving the example of this. Now we are going to, so these are all the most important functions that are available in case of sets. Okay, so this set is now completed. Okay, now you can work with the sets. Next is dictionary. So what is dictionary? Dictionaries are Python dictionaries stores values on the basis of key and value pairs. Okay, what Python dictionaries stores? They stores values on the basis of key and value pairs. So one very basic example of dictionary is this. Suppose that we have details, that is a dictionary that contains the information about any user, and the details of user is first name and last name. Okay, so we will write like this. So first key is first name and then the value of this is Anand. Then the key is last name and the value of this is Kumar. So these first name and last name are called as key, and Anand and Kumar are called as values. So dictionary is nothing but a collection of key and value pairs. Is this clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Sir, could you repeat once again?
just 1 minute. Yeah. So do you want to repeat this dictionary?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So Python dictionary is nothing but this is again a sequence, okay, and it will contain the key and value pairs, means elements that the element every element of the dictionary will be a key and value pair. So now a very basic example of dictionary is details. Suppose that we have a variable details and it has the values first name and last name as the key and this is one of the value. This whole will be called as one of the element of the dictionary. So every element will be a pair of what key and value pair. So this is called as key and then this is called as value. So it will be very clear to you if I give you the example. Suppose that we have a dictionary details is equal to, or you can say that student details. Okay. And in this student details, we have the information name, okay, and then the value of name is Anand. Next, we are doing what? Comma, and then suppose that we are writing age. The value of age is suppose that 30. And now we are writing suppose that roll number, and roll number is suppose that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is a dictionary. So dictionary contains what? It contains the collection of key and value pairs. So here you can see that this is an element of the dictionary. So this is next element of the dictionary. Now this is the next element of the dictionary. So if you see every any element, so it will be a collection of key and value. So this name is called as key, and this is the value of this key. So if I talk if I ask you what are the keys here, then you can answer me name, age, and roll number. So these are keys, and the values are what? Anybody answer? Anand Kumar is there.
Anand Kumar's 30 and that's all number.
Yes, 1, 3, 4, 5, 6. So these are values. Now, if you print your dictionary, if you print, then you will get here the name Anand Kumar, age is 30, and roll number is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, if you want to get any value, if you want to get the value of any key, then you can just write here. So, name values of key. And what will perform? The syntax will be first you will write dictionary name and then inside that you will pass the key name. Okay. So this is the syntax. So suppose that I want to get the name of this student. Then you will write here first the dictionary name is what? Student details, and then here we will pass name. Okay. Now you can print. So it will print you the name of this student. It is printing you Anand Kumar. Similarly, you can print student details and then the age. It will give you 30. So by this way you can read the dictionary. Okay. Is this clear everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Hi everyone, just please give me 1 minute. Hello? Yes. Okay. Now suppose that if you want to get the age, then you can write like this. And now we will move to the some functions that are available for dictionary. So suppose that if you want to create an empty dictionary, then you can just write here dictionary. So whatever the dictionary name you will give, then is equal to an empty curly braces. So by this way you can create an empty dictionary.
Sir, you're not, I mean, your mic is on mute.
Yeah, yeah, sure, sure. So suppose that if you want to create an empty dictionary, then you can just simply write dictionary name and then is equal to curly braces. So by this way you can create an empty dictionary. Next, if you want to add any item in this dictionary, then you can write dictionary name then dot update. So update is just a function that you can use to insert a new element in this dictionary. So you will just write dictionary example and then dot update, and then here you will write inside the parenthesis, inside the curly braces you will pass here the values. So first is the key name and then the values of it. Okay. So now we are going to see the example of this. Suppose that we are writing here, we can create an empty dictionary by writing empty dictionary is equal to this. If you print empty dictionary, then it will not have any element. Okay, so it is printing you this. Okay, now if you want to add, you can just write here empty dictionary dot update. Okay, and then here you will use a parenthesis, and inside this you will use a curly brace. Okay, and inside this you will write here key name. Okay, name, suppose that we want to add here, suppose that age. Okay, and the value of age we want to put here 20. Now you can see that if you print the empty dictionary, then currently this dictionary will be not empty right now. It will return you age 20. Okay, and then uh, it will return you. Okay, if you print your empty dictionary, then it will return you age 20. So now you can see that inside this empty dictionary, we have added the one value age 20. Similarly, we can also write empty dictionary dot update, and then here suppose that yeah, we want to add a roll number 123. Okay, now here you can see that now there will be two items in this dictionary. So first is age 20 and roll number is 123. Okay. Suppose that we have two dictionary. Dictionary one is equal to name Anand, then is suppose that 26. Okay. Now suppose that we have dictionary two. Here we have the information like roll number, and here suppose that we have 1 2 3 4 5 6. Okay. if you write here dict3 is equal to dict1 plus dict2, and then if you print dict3, so it will basically not allowed. It is not allowed. Okay, so you cannot add a dictionary. So if you want to add a update a dictionary by some item, then you can simply write like this. Okay, so currently it is just updating you the dictionary, first dictionary, and if you now print your dictionary 1, then it will give you name Anand, age 26, and roll number 123456. What we are doing here, suppose that we have a dictionary and we have a one dictionary and we have second dictionary this, and we want to update the dictionary 1 by dictionary 2, then we can just write like this: dictionary 1 dot update dictionary 2. And what will happen, every element of dictionary 2 will be inserted into this dictionary 1. So by this way uh, you can just insert the value of dictionary, it means any dictionary to a dictionary. Okay, it is clear.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay, so now changing the value. Okay, so now you are doing here what, you are updating the value. So update method also can be used for changing the values. So suppose that this,
Yes, sir.
I'm giving the example for changing values. So suppose that we have a dictionary is, okay, and we want to change the value of name. So we can write here dict1 dot name is equal to 1 2 3. Suppose that name we are changing by Karan. Okay, so now if you print dictionary 1, then what will happen here? The name value will be changed now. Here you can see that is printing you name Karan and age is 26. Okay. Now what will happen? Suppose that if I write like this, roll number is equal to 1 2 3 4 5 6. So you know that roll number is not present in the dictionary. Then what will happen? If it will insert a roll number into this dictionary, and now if you print, you can see that in this dictionary now we will have name and age and roll number also. Okay. So now I am commenting this line to avoid your confusion. So now if you print here, you can see that initially we have name and age. Name value we have updated by Karan, and now we have inserted a roll number with the value 1 2 3 4 5 6. So either you can use the update function or you can write like this to add a value into the dictionary. Is this clear, everyone? Just see the last one output. Okay, so it is equivalent of printing, this is equivalent of the last one, and the rest one or these output are from previous print functions. Okay, now we are going to see the functions that are available for dictionaries. So first, very simple function is clear function that does what, it basically removes all the items from the dictionary. So copying this here. Okay, first function is clear function. Clear function does what? It removes all the items from the dictionary. So suppose that we have a dictionary is equal to name, with that name is Facebook, okay, and then suppose that 1 2. If you print your dictionary, then it will print you name Anand and 1 2. Okay. Now if you want to clear your dictionary, every item will be removed from the dictionary. So you can write here dict1 dot clear. Now you can see that it is printing you an empty dictionary. Okay. Suppose that now we have the same dictionary, okay, and we want to perform here the copy function. The copy function does what? Copy functions returns a copy of the dictionary. So why basically we what is the application of this copy function? Okay, so suppose that you have name versus any critical information. Okay, that should not be changed, like client ID. Suppose that we have client IDs and IDs. So we don't want our client IDs should be changed. So suppose that this is client IDs 1 2. In the client ID we have 1 2 3 4. Okay, and the name related to this client is suppose that Anand, and this name related to this client is suppose that Karan. Okay, so these are client IDs that is present in this dictionary. Now we don't want our client IDs should be changed. Okay, so you can suppose that if you write here client IDs copy is equal to client ID. There are two ways of copying. So suppose that we are writing client ID is copy is equal to client ID. And now suppose that we just want to change the client ID's copy value to client ID 1 2. We want to change the name of the client ID. So suppose that we are assigning this as uh, okay. So what will happen now? You have changed the value of client ID's copy, but the value of client IDs will also change. If you print here client ID and then client ID's copy. Now if you print, you can see that both of these will have the same value. Means we have created a copy of the client IDs. Now we are performing the action in the copy, but the value of the original client ID is also changing. The the name is associated with client ID 1 2 is Farah. You can see that, but it was what Anand. To avoid this collision, we do what? We don't write like this. So instead of writing this line, we have one more choice. We can write client IDs, client IDs copy is equal to client IDs dot copy. Okay. Now if you run your program, so first client, original client, client's details, client IDs was same. It is for 1 2 ID we have Anand and the copy value is only changed. So this is the application of the copy function. Is this clear everyone?
Clear, sir.
next is get function. So get does what? It returns you the value of a specified key. So suppose that if you want to get the value of any particular key, then you can just simply write. Suppose that we have this client ID as a sample dictionary. Okay. And then here we want to take the name of the client ID 12. Then there are two ways. So first way is either you can write print and then client IDs and the key value you need to pass here 12. Okay. So you will get the name of the client IDs 12. So that is Anand. So next another method is you can just write here client IDs dot get and then here 12 pass the value, pass the name of the key. Okay, now if you print both fields, print the value Anand. Now what will happen, you know that 12 client ID is present here, 12233 client ID is present here, but suppose that we pass here 101, that client ID is not present, then what will happen, if you run your program it will give an exception, your program will be terminated. So to avoid this, you can, so this is not safe. Okay, it can give you exception. So what you can do, so similarly if you write the same thing here, so it will do what, it will return you none, it will not cause an exception, it will return just none. So you can set a default value here also. So suppose that in the first case we are using the get function, and then the second case you can write here default value not found. Okay, now you can see that in the first case it is printing none and in the second case it is printing value not found. So this method is not safe. Okay, what you guess? Get like is if error. So it is just giving you, so any method, okay, any functions, any operation that is not safe in related to execution process, so if it can give any exception in runtime, then you should not use that function, you should avoid that. And if you want to use that, then you can do what, you should do in that case exception handling. Okay, so this is basically, suppose that if you are working in a big company, okay, then this type of exception if occur in their program, then what will happen? Any service can, that can impact any service. Okay, so suppose that you are updating any payment table and this type of exception occurred, then what will happen? All the payment details will be means will be means just means all the payment details information can be missing. In that case, means if exception occur, it means that your program will be terminated. So to avoid these things, always either try to not use that function or those things that are not safe, or you need to use try catch block. Okay, try exception block. So I will give the example of this later. Okay, so just for example, so this is not a Python. So this is a .NET. Okay, in this .NET you can see that what I am doing here, any program that I am writing here, I am writing inside the try catch block. What will happen? Suppose that if this block is giving any exception, then it will log a message. Okay, it will log a message that your program has given exception. So this is just for safety purpose. Okay. So same similar thing we can also do in Python. So I will give the example of this. Next is items. So item function does what? It returns a list containing a tuple for each key value. What is it doing? Just don't confuse with the definition. It will just return you all the items that are present in the dictionary. Then suppose that we have a dictionary, client IDs. Okay. Now if you print here client IDs, then you get all the items present in the client IDs. Now you can see that it is printing you 1 2 Anand, 1 2 3 Karan. So these are just, sorry, not client IDs. You need to write here dot items. Okay. Here you can see that it is printing you all the items present here. So it is first item it is printing 1 2 Anand, and second item it is printing you 1 2 3 Karan. Okay. So this function you can just get to you can use to get all the items present in the dictionary. Now keys. So if you want to get all the keys present in dictionary, then you can simply write print and then client IDs dot keys. Okay, so if you run your program, you will get all the keys present in this dictionary. Now it is giving you 1 2 and 1 2 3 3. Similarly, we have values. Okay, so if you want to get all the values present in this dictionary, then you can simply write here client IDs dot values. Okay, so it will return you all the values that are present in this dictionary. Now you can see that it is printing you dictionary values Anand, Karan. Next is pop function. Pop function does what? It removes the element with the specified key. So suppose that if you want to delete any element from this dictionary. So suppose that we want to delete the, okay, firstly I am copying this dictionary. Okay. Now suppose that we want to remove this 1 2 entry. Then what will we do? We will write here client IDs dot pop. Then here we will pass the key name. So what is the key name? 1 2. Okay. And now if you print your dictionary, it is giving you 1 2 3 and then current. So the entry of 1 2 has been deleted. Now what will happen? Suppose that here you pass 100. Now what will happen? It will give an exception. It will give an exception. Okay, so this is pop methods again, not self. Okay, so if you want to still, if you still want to use this, then what, this pop method, then what you can do, firstly you will, I don't think there is any more method here. So what we can do here is to avoid the for such safety purpose, you can use, first you can check that if this id or if this key is present in the dictionary. So we can simply check. Okay, and if that condition is true, then and only then we can delete. So so one way of doing that is what we will write, if suppose that we want to delete the client information about the client ID 1001, then we will write, so we can use here if. Okay, so we will write here if 100 in client IDs dot. So one way of doing this is using if else all the keys. So we will check that if it is present 101 in all the keys of this dictionary, then and only then we will use this pop method. Now you can see that now it will not give you error. It is not giving you error. Okay. You can write a else block. You can just write here in item not found. So now it will print you the message item not found because 101 is not present in this dictionary keys. So that's why this block will be not executed. This block will be executed. So how this if else block I will explain later. Okay. So next is pop item. It removes the last item inserted in the last inserted key and value pair. Okay. So suppose that we have this dictionary. Okay. And then if you run the command client IDs dot pop item, what will happen if you print client IDs? Now you can see that the last item has been deleted. Now what will happen if you run this client ID dot pop item two times? So this now first time this will delete and second time this will delete. Now if you print your client IDs, you will get nothing. You will get an empty dictionary. Is this clear everyone?
Yes, sir.
Now all the set default returns a value of a specified key. If the key doesn't exist, insert the key. Okay. Update I have already covered. Values I have. So these are all the functions that are available for dictionary. Okay. So now we will go to the next class. So if you have any doubt in today's class, you can ask.